Hi there, welcome to Prime Time. Today I'm here with Hither Mann from the Fortune Academy. If you're not aware, Hither is a huge, significant player in Forex and trading, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it. You'll see her.
Thank you, yes. Well, technically I'm the world's first female trader and educator. Obviously there are female traders out there, but in the retail space there were no education sort of female people, and I am quite happy, and that was the main reason I wanted to do this, because I never saw any females sort of teaching, so I wanted to change that.
Okay, now just to go way back to when it all began, you studied as an optometrist. Why did you do this?
Oh God, I don't think anybody ever dreams of being an optician. It was very much the culture I grew up in. They very much demand, it's an Asian culture, and they say, right, be a doctor, lawyer, do jobs where you're going to guarantee to get something out of university. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go to the quickest route to market, which was how can I get money fast? And doctors told me I was going to be a doctor, and they said, well, you won't make that much money. And I thought, all right, I can't do that then. So that was why I chose optometry.
Fair enough. Now, also, I saw you had quite a pedigree in real estate. Are you still involved in this, or how did this begin as well?
Yeah, so that was my first wealth that I created, and I love property. I still got all my portfolio. I started that in 2004, literally by just going to a networking group and thinking, well, I wanted to be very wealthy. I knew from the age of 9 I have to be wealthy, because my parents used to argue about wealth or lack of money, and so that was my driving force. And as soon as I got introduced to a networking group, and I went to it, and I was just overwhelmed with how this is so different to any education, university, and I went to really good everything, university school, and they don't teach you how to make money. So I very quickly developed all the skills I needed, and I got a mentor from that area, and very, very important to get a mentor. And yeah, I bought lots of properties, no money down at the time, with bridging finance, instant remortgage, etc. Very easy back in 2008. A bit more creative now, you have to be, but it's still possible in different ways.
Okay, now, as you're all aware, Hither is a huge presence in the Forex industry, whether it's retail, institutional, so on and so forth. Hither, tell us all how you actually got into trading. How did it begin?
Well, it's property that got me into initially. So 2008, when I saw the crash, I was lucky. My properties were still very positive equity because they were bought very cheap, so I didn't have any problems. But my mortgage broker was struggling, and I couldn't buy any new properties the way I did, because I used to use a mortgage or bridging finance. Nobody was doing anything for 8 months, and it was by accident that I fell into Forex, because the mortgage broker was actually trading. He got into that, then he introduced me to it, and I thought, that looks easy. I don't have to speak to humans. I can just do this. I was sick of renting to people, and I didn't want to talk. I was dealing with a lot of people at the time. I just wanted to have a bit of a lifestyle, like look at where you are, This, I couldn't do that with property, and it was completely impossible to be flexible. So the lifestyle about Forex was something that really closed me in I need to learn this. Then I learned from, long story short, I did everything wrong. I learned off the internet, and it was all wrong. I lost lots of money. 200 grand in 2 days was a turning point. And I thought, there's got to be someone who can teach me. I learned from a mentor in property. I need to find a mentor in Forex. And I found eventually, through an institutional broker, very good traders in the city, and this was a hedge fund trader, and I eventually went one-on-one with him, but not just for that. I had to give him 7.8 million in a fund, because they're only interested in trading a fund, and I had a consortium of funds that I could leverage. So that was my route to market there. I had to go and kind of figure out, why would they talk to me, because they really don't unless you've got the money. And that's eventually, it took me 2010, 9/10 was when I started getting the mentoring with Forex from him.
Now, with your brand and what you do with your trading, you're very visible in front of people doing it out. Can you give people tips on public speaking? Because I hate it. I get terrible nerves, and I go off track. So can you give some tips?
Sure. I think I did get training for this, and it's important to get someone who can help you on the training of or public speaking. My best tip to anyone is, when you are speaking to an audience, is you are literally trying to add value and helping them. So actually the best speakers are the ones who come from the heart, and it's not about you. Most people get nervous because they think, oh, they're looking at me, I might look funny or sound funny. When you actually get on stage, I don't think about myself at all. I'm thinking, how can I help these incredible people in front of me? How can I make sure they've had a great, fantastic, valuable day? And when I focus on them, it's not easy. So stop focusing on yourself, focus on them, and be as receptive as possible.
All right, awesome. Now, also, if everyone take a moment to have a look at what she does on Instagram, or more importantly, LinkedIn, because you've really changed the game, so to speak, on how to deliver your message across. Me personally, I get a lot of interesting emails and messages sent to me about how I deliver it. So what about yourself? Like, what was your mentality of not having a standardized approach?
Well, I am always disruptive. I've been that from the beginning. I've been the only female when I was in property, I was the only female person doing it on my own. The only females I met before were wives of people or whatever. Obviously that's changing. There are more females now. But when I was in Forex, I'm the only female Forex trader I met for a long time, and still the only educator on the planet, which is ridiculous. I'm sure that's going to change. On the speaking circuit I'm talking about. Now, when it came to LinkedIn, I knew I had to do this in a disruptive manner. I did not plan to do this. I found LinkedIn really boring, actually. I thought these boring people that write boring posts about their 9 to 5s, I'm not interested in being one of those. So I thought, how can I absolutely disrupt? Technically, you're pissing them off. And I know they hate pictures and they hate anything that resembles a human being. So let's go and do this exact opposite. So I use them like Instagram and Facebook. I put pictures in there, videos. I force them to figure out who I am. And whether they did hate it, they hated it. A lot of people were like, this is not the place, but it's fizzled out. It took a year. It took a whole year for that. And you might still get the comment now and then, but it doesn't faze me. It's unfortunately, it's tough at the beginning because everybody wants to be liked, but you have to get past that. I mean, ultimately, they don't know you, and I see this as this is for my business. So again, I don't focus on me. I focus on what am I trying to achieve in the process, and when that's okay then.
I guess that when they do get angry with you, you're kind of winning. You're making that impact. Some people, they'll play it safe. That's the challenge, I think, in this industry. They need to kind of do something disruptive like you've done. I take my hat off to you. So finally, in this section, your charity, so it's a mental health charity. Could you tell us more about this?
Yes, the whole reason I wanted to be a public speaker in the first place is very close to my heart is how mental health is a big game changer for a lot of people. I personally used to suffer a lot of anxiety and sort of depression when I was growing up because I came from a very strong culture where everything I was doing was not allowed. So in a nutshell, it wasn't easy, and I used to face all the problems that people tend to. I found that I had a coach that worked with me and helped me break through like all of the mental blocks, etc. And I found that game changing. I thought if I can do that for someone else, that's better than money. In the long, you can't take the money with you when you die. So I know the only thing I'm happy with when I leave this planet would be how many people can I help in a positive way. So the mental health charity was something I wanted to do for a long time, and I thought, how can I do that? Well, I have to first of all be a speaker, have people understand what I offer, hence I have a platform, social media and speaking events, doing things like this, getting the message out. And the mental health charity is designed to help people with their relationship with money in particular, and in particular the corporate environment, because there are lots of amazing charities, but one that doesn't really help the people that are going through stress and the lack of money problem, and it affects relationships, it affects their whole health, everything. The suicide rate is very high in banking, and I coach, for example, Credit Suisse, and I'm not saying anything there, but effectively I coach very high-end tier 1 bankers, and those are real problems that we're dealing with here. They have zero outlook on how their mind works or how their mental health should be protected. So that for me is the main focus of why I do what I do, because I want profits from my education and from the books that I'm going to be releasing to be going through to the charity, and that's where I can help more corporate environments get that help, because it's a cultural problem in Europe. They don't have a go-to at the moment to fix those problems.
Okay, how can people see this? How can they view this?
So at the moment, this is booked through my website, or if you find me on LinkedIn or social media, any of that, all the links are on my fortuneacademy.co.uk website, all the hyperlinks for my social media. LinkedIn is my favorite place where I get people ask me to coach there. corporate teams, for example, on okay, we want them to be less stressed and have a healthy relationship with money. So that would be where they can see what I do. Also, I will be putting a dedicated part on my website for this. It is definitely overdue, and I appreciate that. I've been working on it. I'm the kind of person, I do it first and then show people. So I've got like years of like track record now, and I can put it on. So thanks for reminding me.
Okay, so look, we've got to understand about Hither's background, her motivations, her drives, etc. In part 2, when we come back, what we're going to do is really have a look at the nuts and bolts of Fortune Academy, what she's working on, IPOs, so on and so forth. So going to stop for a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll speak to her some more. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.